Imagine a world where your worst enemy is smaller than a grain of sand. A world where tiny terrors lurk in the shadows, waiting to latch onto you and drain your life force. This isn't science fiction. It's the real-world drama of insects and their ancient nemesis, parasitic mites. Welcome to another journey through time, where Amber has preserved some of the most fascinating and terrifying relationships in the insect world for millions and millions of years. Our story begins in the Baltic region, about 44 to 49 million years ago. Picture a lush forest teeming with life. An ant scurries along a tree branch, unaware that it's about to become a snapshot of evolutionary history. In a piece of amber from this time, scientists have discovered something remarkable: a mite frozen in the act of attacking an ant. This isn't just any mite. It's the member of the genus of a group that still exists today. Dr. Jason Dunlop, an arachnologist at the Leibniz Institute for Evolution and Biodiversity Science in Berlin, describes this find as the oldest known example of a mite attached to its host. The mite, just 0.7 millimeters long, is firmly attached to the ant's head. But here's where it gets really interesting. The mite isn't just attacking the ant, it's parasitizing it. The relationship between these two creatures is an ancient dance of survival, one that has been playing out for tens of millions of years. Now you might be thinking, mites? Aren't they just tiny spiders? Not quite. Mites are arachnids, related to spiders, but they're a distinct group with a fascinating evolutionary history. Let's take a step much further back in time, to an even earlier period. The oldest insects discovered in the most ancient amber have been gall mites discovered in 2012 in 230 million year old amber from the Italian Alps. These ancient mites give us a glimpse into the early evolution of these tiny creatures. These Triassic mites, ancestors of modern gall mites, were already specialized plant parasites. But over millions of years, some mites evolved to parasitize animals instead of plants. The ant-attacking mite we see in Baltic amber represents a much later stage in this evolutionary history. But ants aren't the only victims of these tiny terrors. Let's talk about termites and their mite problems. Termites, these master engineers of the insect world, have their own battles with mites. In various amber samples, scientists have found mites hitching rides onto termites. Some of these mites are parasitic, while others have a more complex relationship with their termite hosts. For example, some mites use termites as a taxi service, hitching rides to new food sources. Others feed on fungi and other small organisms in termite nests without directly harming the termites. This type of relationship is called forestry. But make no mistake, many types of mites are true parasites. They latch onto their hosts, feeding on bodily fluids or tissues. In the case of termites, some mites can severely impact the health of a colony. Fast forward to the present and talk about a mite that's causing big problems for one of our most important insect allies, the honeybee. The varroa mite of the ancient mites we've been discussing is currently one of the biggest threats to bee colonies worldwide. These mites attach to bees, weakening them and spreading diseases. It's a stark reminder that the ancient battles preserved in amber are still being fought today. What's fascinating is how little some of these relationships have changed over millions and millions of years. The mite attacking the ant in Baltic amber is remarkably similar to the mites we see today. This suggests that these parasitic relationships are incredibly stable over evolutionary time. But amber doesn't just show us the attacks. It also preserves evidence of defense. Some amber samples have captured insects with specialized structures or behaviors that can help them fend off mite attacks. It's an evolutionary arms race, frozen in time. From the ancient gall mites of the Triassic to the ant attackers of the Eocene, the bee-bothering varroa mites of today, these tiny arachnids have been shaping the insect world for hundreds of millions of years. They're a testament to the power of adaptation, the complexity of ecosystems, and the enduring nature of evolutionary relationships. So the next time you see an ant scurrying by, or hear the buzz of a bee, remember, they're carrying with them the legacy of an ancient battle, one that's been raging since before the dinosaurs roamed the earth. In the world of insects and mites, every day is a struggle for survival, played out on a microscopic scale. If this tiny tale of terror has piqued your curiosity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. What other miniature dramas might be playing out right under our noses? Until next time, keep exploring. And remember, in nature, the smallest creatures often have the biggest stories to tell.